Hello, this is Chris with the Dallas Theological Seminary Media Center. Today I would like to discuss animations inside Keynote. To begin with, let me go ahead and open up a new Keynote presentation. I'm going to go over here and open up a new document. I'm going to use a basic presentation, just a wide black style presentation. Let me go ahead and open that up. Now, what I'm going to do to start with is to zoom out by pinching in on the trackpad to where I can see the entire screen. Next, I'm going to close the Format tab over here by clicking on this paintbrush. And then finally, to prepare for this, I'm going to go ahead and delete both of these text boxes. To do so, I'm going to click inside and hit the delete button. Again, I'm going to move down here, click inside to where I see this blue outline, and then I'm going to hit delete. All right, now I'm ready to show you the basics of animations. So to begin with, I'm going to add a few shapes into my PowerPoint presentation. I have a shape shortcut here. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to bring in three different shapes: a square, let's go with a circle, and then I'll add a triangle in the middle. There we go. All right, so I've got three shapes here that we can work with. I'm going to go over to the right side in the top corner here and go to the Animate button. Let me describe how this works for you. Animations work with individual text boxes, shapes, and other objects inside of one slide. A transition is how do I get from this slide to this slide. However, an animation is how do these objects inside this slide operate. So to start with, I'm going to click on this triangle, move over here, and you'll see there are three different types of animations. We've got build in, we've got action, and we've got build out. To start with, let me just show you a basic build in. I'm going to do an appear. And what that does is it's just going to cause this triangle to appear. You can preview it by clicking the preview button up here. And a lot of these different animations will have further editing that you can do. However, the appear is a fairly basic option. So now what I've got is one triangle and I have one build on it. Now, how can I preview this? How can I see what this is going to look like in the final presentation? Go ahead and click the play button. You'll notice I've got two objects, a square and a circle, that are already here because I don't have any effect on them. However, if I press the over key or the space key, the triangle will appear. All right, I'm going to hit the escape button to move out of there. Next, let me show you a couple of other effects. I'm going to click on this square and I'm going to add an effect. Let's use the anvil effect. That's a pretty cool one. If I click on it, it's going to show me a preview. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to add an effect to the circle, and let's just use the blur option. There we go. Now, in order to see all three of these, I'm going to go to the play button, and I'm going to press over, over, and over. Now, you'll notice one thing here. For some reason, I had some trouble with this square. I'm going to go back here and add an effect. It's possible that I didn't click the anvil, or maybe that I had missed clicking it. Let me go ahead and click that again, just to make sure that I add that effect. Then when I go back to play, I should have three effects. The triangle appears, the circle is going to blur in, and the anvil is going to drop. If you go to the blur option and the anvil option, you're going to see duration. That is going to allow me to extend this effect over a period of time. Now, over and over, that can be quite annoying. However, if you're looking to make a certain point and you're looking to emphasize that, this duration can be a good way to bring this point in slowly. Again, just don't overdo any of these. And then I'm going to go back over here to the anvil, and I can increase the duration. I'm going to hit a preview. The smoke has a longer duration to it. All right, so also you're going to notice under order here, you have three options. That's because I have three separate items here, and I can change the build order. Now, you could go in individually. Let's say I want this object to show first, and then I want this transition to show second, and then I want this one to show third. Okay, I've got that. However, if you have a number of objects inside your presentation, it can be a little confusing. So I'm going to go to Build Order. You can see a visual representation of this, and you can click and drag any of these items to change the build order. Once you're done, hit the X button, and you can always come back to Build Order right here on the Animate section on the right side. So that is a basic introduction to animations and how they work. I want to show you a couple of other things. I'm going to move to a new slide, and I'm going to add one large shape in here. Let's just add a triangle, and I'm going to make it a little bigger by clicking and dragging in the corner. There we go. Now we've got a large triangle. Let me show you the actions. So we've discussed a little bit about the build-in animation. Let's look at actions. Let's look at a basic move action. I'm going to click Move, and what you're going to see under this action is the beginning object here. It's brighter, the ending object, which is darker, and then you're going to see this red line, which is showing you the path. Once again, I can change the duration, which will cause this move to happen more slowly, and I can hit the preview button to see that move. Good. I can also click inside this shadowed object and change what the final destination will be for this move. I'm going to decide to put it down here and show you a preview once again. Excellent. So you can also change this position manually by clicking up and down, but most of the time you can do that by clicking and dragging instead of changing these X and Y coordinates. And then finally, you can change the acceleration. In other words, is it going to move quickly at the beginning and then slow down at the end, vice versa, or is it going to ease into both? I generally prefer ease both. And once again, since we only have one object and one move, our order is going to be first because we don't have any other. But if I wanted to change the build order of any move, I can always click Build Order right there. Now, the only other thing I'd like to show you, you do have the option of starting on click or starting after the transition. And let me show you the difference between those. Obviously, if I start on click, that means when I click the PowerPoint, either the advanced key, the space key, or if you're using a remote, it will start then. However, you can also have these automatically begin when you transition from one slide to another. Let me show you. Once again, you're going to see our three actions: appear, anvil, which I extended the duration, and blur, which I also extended the duration. Then, when I just pressed the advance button, you saw what happened. It automatically caused this move to happen. I didn't have to click one more time. I just advanced from one slide to another, and action happened. Let's move back in here. And finally, I'd like to use the build out option. Let's say once I've had this triangle move, I'd like it to go ahead and disappear. Under your appear and move options, there's a disappear here. Obviously, if it's going to disappear, it has to already be there. So that's going to make this the second build order. So then I'm going to go one more time through this. I've got my three actions here. That's 1, that's 2, and finally we've got 3. Then I'm going to transition, and my move is automatically going to start. Finally, I'm going to hit the advanced key one more time, and it disappears. I've shown you how to use the build in, the action, and the build out. For most of these, you're going to have to play with them. However, there is a lot of creativity that you can use inside these actions. They are really, really cool. Now, one more thing I want to do. I want to show you another action before we go. Instead of move, I'd like to show you the opacity option. This is really helpful, and it's an advanced tip for people that want to create really aesthetically pleasing PowerPoints. You can create some objects, move them around, and then change their opacity, which is a really cool function. I'm going to actually change the opacity way down to 25%. Now, I'm going to click the preview button to show you what's going to happen. Excellent. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start this PowerPoint. And there you go. Again, because I did not change the option here, I did not change how this action starts, it automatically is going to start on the transition. So there you have a basic introduction to the animations inside Keynote. We have build in, we have actions, and we have build out. And that's a summary of the animations. Thank you for your time.